Hey guys, this is 1.6 part 3, and we're going to talk about complex fractions. So a complex fraction is going to be your fraction over another fraction. So basically in the numerator and or denominator, you have some more rational expressions. So we're going to talk about how to deal with that, how to simplify that in this video. Step 1. Any addition or subtraction that is happening in the numerator and denominator, you want to go ahead and perform that operation. So simplify the numerator and denominator first. And then step 2, rewrite the fraction as the numerator divided by the denominator. So writing it out next to each other like the problems were yesterday. And then you can just perform that division. So maybe even I should have probably put a step 3 under here. To perform division. So once you have written it out, you go ahead and actually divide that. So let's look at number 14. There's actually no addition or subtraction in the numerator or denominator, so we can skip that. But just let's look at what I mean by rewriting this. So this literally means 1/2 divided by 5/6. So I can rewrite this as 1/2 divided by 5/6. And we know how to handle that because we did that yesterday. Okay, so remember you change the middle sign and flip the second fraction, 6/5. and then we multiply across the top and the bottom, so 6/10. And I can reduce that to 3/5. Okay, so don't let these big complex fractions freak you out or anything, because you actually do know how to do that. You know how to handle this, something like that. So just change it to division and then perform that division. On number 15, we do have some addition and subtraction to do, so we'll do that first. 3 plus 4/x. So remember, to add or subtract, you need a common denominator. So that common denominator is going to be x. So I need to multiply by x on the top and the bottom here. So it will become 3x/x. And then I can actually add that. So that's 3x plus 4/x. And in the denominator, my common denominator is also going to be x, so 6x/x. Adding the numerator, so 6x minus 1/x. And now I'm going to rewrite this as numerator divided by denominator. So 3x minus 4 divided by x divided by 6x minus 1/x. Okay, so now you should know how to do the rest of that. You want to flip the second fraction, change it to multiplication. And now we want to, if you could have factored anything out, any GCFs or anything, you would want to do that. But we don't have any here, so I'm going to just cancel anything that appears in the top and the bottom. That's going to be our x and x there. And now I can multiply straight across. That's just going to be 3x minus 4 and 6x minus 1. That's it. Remember, you cannot simplify those two because those are terms and they're being because they're being subtracted here. And so you can only simplify factors which are being multiplied. So because of this minus sign, you can't reduce that, the 3x/6x. Careful about that. All right, let's just do one more. So we're going to perform the subtraction and addition first. So I need to get a common denominator. That LCD in the top is going to be, well, I need whatever this first one is missing, which is z minus 1. And the first one has z plus 1. So that's going to be your LCD. So for the first one, I need to multiply by z minus 1 on the top and the bottom. Zoom in. And on the second one, I need to multiply by z plus 1. Okay, so let me go ahead and write that out. So in the numerator, I will have z minus 1 over z minus 1, z plus 1, minus, and in the second fraction, we've got z plus 1 over z minus 1, z plus 1. Cool, so common denominator is good in the first one. We need to do the same thing for the bottom, so the LCD is going to be z times z plus 1. So I'm going to multiply by z plus 1 in the first fraction on the top and the bottom. And in the second one, I need to multiply by z. Okay, so that's z plus 1 over z times z plus 1 plus z over z times z plus 1. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do that addition and subtraction. So in the numerator, see how you've got this minus here? So that needs to go with the whole z plus 1 there. So make sure that you've got z minus 1 minus z plus 1. Basically just reminding you, you need to distribute that minus there. Denominator stays the same. All over, and performing the addition in the bottom, z plus 1 plus z is going to be a 2z plus 1 over z times z plus 1. Now I need to simplify the numerator. I'm sorry I'm doing this in so many steps. I just want to make sure everybody knows what's happening. I'm not skipping over anything. So I need to simplify this first numerator, and then we'll be able to move on to the division. So distributing that gives me z minus 1 minus z minus 1. Which we can actually, I'm going to go ahead and just erase this. That's going to be z minus z cancels out, and -1, and -1 makes -2. So that's just going to be a -2 there. Over, and then we've got 2z plus 1 over z times z plus 1. Okay, so now that we've done our two addition and subtraction problems, we can change this to division. So that's -2 over z minus 1 times z plus 1 divided by the denominator, 2z plus 1 over z times z plus 1. All right, now we're ready to perform the division. So we'll flip the second fraction, change it to multiplication. Times, and flipping that second one, so z times z plus 1 over 2z plus 1. Okay, so now we want to cancel anything that appears in the top and the bottom. That's going to be our z plus 1. And that's it. Okay, so that will simplify to go ahead and multiply across the top and the bottom, -2z over z minus 1 times 2z plus 1. And you could, of course, go ahead and FOIL that in the denominator, but that is the correct answer there, so we'll just leave it. All right, that's it. So that's how you do complex fractions. You're going to perform any addition or subtraction in the numerator and denominator, and then change that to a division problem. Just rewrite it and perform the division. All right.